In today's video, you guys, I want to examine what's behind the mask of a narcissist. What type of identity is there underneath the false identity that they present to us? What would these people look like, be it male or female? Underneath, if we could get a real glimpse and picture of how these people view themselves and the energy that runs through them, what would that look like? Let's do what we do and dive deep.
No tears, no fears, fully alive again after this years.
Hey, human family, how are you? It's Darren. Welcome back to Fully Alive Again, where we regain our power, inner peace, and increase our self-worth and self-confidence after narcissistic abuse. We do this by learning all that we can about narcissism, relationships, and personal development. And by doing this, you guys, it is sure to help us go up, over, around, and through narcissists. We cannot be weak, fragile, or afraid in this world. The world needs sentient human beings, good people, to stand strong, to stand tall, and to operate from their highest level. All right, you guys? So today, you guys, looking at narcissism and the mask that these people wear is something so fascinating, yet I believe so under-researched that it's rather concerning. The hubris stance that psychologists, clinicians in the psychology industry and professionals have when it comes to narcissism creates a very limited understanding, in my opinion, about just, how do I want to say, about who and what these people are. There is something there that is much more dark and unexplainable to a certain degree with the limited tools that the academia world uses to discover what these people are. Now, I have witnessed with my own eyes narcissists changing the dimensions of their face, the color of their eyes, the emptiness. If you've ever seen someone die before your eyes and watch closely that transformation and what happens to their eyes, and I've witnessed this before, the passing of someone while holding their hand. The eyes of a narcissist does the exact same thing. Now, I want to remind you who I am, so when you hear these things that I'm saying, that you don't drift into this guy's, "Hi, come on, man. What are you, high?" No, I'm not. I don't drink. I don't do any kind of drugs. I was a corporate motivational speaker for over 20 years, working with some of the most powerful companies in the world. My curricula has been in school districts, universities across the country. Throughout the late 90s and early 2000s, I was one of the most sought after motivational corporate speakers in the country. I am a sane individual. I have witnessed the shape shifting of these human beings. I've watched them mutate their faces where they look very similar to the image that you're seeing on your screen. I have witnessed this close up. I have seen the dead, dark eyes. I have seen the vacancy of the person that was wearing the mask completely fade away, and nothing but a dark, empty, evil entity standing in front of me. I am very baffled by the inability or the lack of motivation to dive into this subject matter by the world of psychology. The academia world is supercilious with their stance on narcissism. There is so much more to this. Do I know exactly what it is? Absolutely not. But I know what it isn't. And all of the categories that they have from narcissism are wonderful. And there's a lot of consistency in the behavioral traits of the way that they've categorized these cluster B personality types. They're very relevant. But the study, by the time they catch up with the things that I'm saying, so many people will be hurt, so much potential will be lost, so much devastation will have happened that it's almost irrelevant the things that they're saying. Not all of it, please don't misconstrue, but a lot of it in terms of your life right here and now today, on the kind of person that you are dealing with. All of us who have experienced narcissistic abuse knows that there are two different people in there. I think this is where the screenplay for Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, how it came about. You know, movies emulate life, and people write from their experiences, even in horror movies. And I don't mean from their personal experiences, but from the totality of human existence and their experiences. Now, having said that, well, let me elaborate on that a little bit. The imagination that we all have has, I forgot who put it this way, the philosopher, but the imagination is one big cloud in the universe of human thoughts throughout history. Our brain is the computer that can pull information out of that cloud, meaning the creativity that comes from a screenplay was already injected into the cloud, and the imagination of the author, the writer of that screenplay, pulled that information out of the universal consciousness cloud that exists in our hemisphere, in our universe. So movies come from the imagination that creates any movie you've ever seen, is pulled from past experiences since the beginning of time, from the universal cloud that we have access to through our brain and what we call the imagination. Does that make sense, you guys? No, Darren, just you. But anyway, my point here is that all religion, all storytelling emanates from reality and past experiences. And when you come across such darkness, you need something to make sense of it all, or it overwhelms the senses. This is how narcissists are created. Their senses, what they see, what they witness, is so traumatic, they run out of their own bodies. I don't hear the world of psychology, the academia world, discussing this darkness and this physical ability to shapeshift. I personally believe we are big enough, mature enough, strong enough to take a deeper look. Now, should we do that through the lens of religion? To some degree, yes. To some degree, no. Why do I say this? Because religion has failed us as a species to a certain degree. Bear with me. I'm a believer in God. I'm not a believer in religion. Religion has, to some degree, exhausted its course, or we wouldn't be in the world that we're in. That I'm not saying God has exhausted his or her course, whatever that entity may be. I certainly don't believe that. And I believe that God, the Creator, has your back as a sentient human being. That's why I'm fearless on this shit. But my point is that religion in its limited parameters will not get us across the finish line on really examining this. One of the reasons is that religion is so convoluted with narcissists that it's a moot point to a certain degree. Atheism, being an atheist, didn't work either. This new wave, this spiritual conglomerate of, to the lack of a better term, anything goes, anything I say goes, and this new age philosophies, that can't get us over the finish line either, in my opinion. Do I know what gets us over the finish line? I sure wish I did, you guys. I don't. But I know discussions like this and facing reality smack dab in the face and calling this what it is will certainly help. I get it that there's a child there and that this person stopped developing at a young age. I get it that there's no identity there. I get that. I get that spoiling a kid at a young age and then subjecting them to massive trauma is abuse. Spoiling someone is abusive, yes. But it's something much darker and evil than that. Evil is real. And we don't want to face that. And like I say, the world of psychologists and clinicians are so hubris in their stance that they won't have these type of discussions. And then the religious sector is so hubris and rigid in their stance that they won't have the debates or the discussions with the scientific world and the psychologists to really bring some understanding and get to the finish line on understanding narcissism in its totality. These two communities are going to have to merge and have adult conversations and put on their big girl pants and big boy pants and sit down and think and look at these things head on. Narcissists are a cancer in our society. Every abomination, every world war, every collapse of societies, every unimaginable cruelty that has existed on this planet, on every continent, is initiated and fueled by these evil, demented, delusional assholes. And if we don't face it and look at that, we're in trouble as a species. As Einstein said, after World War II, either war becomes obsolete or we become obsolete as a species. This is stuff that has to be looked at sincerely and seriously. What exists behind a narcissist when that mask falls off? I know for one, there is nothing there. I know for two, what they call multi-personality disorders, where people have several different personalities, I believe that. But there's something else there that narcissist people have besides the multiple personalities. There is no personality there. I get it. They take that on, they create it. The person that you met was never there. I get that. I understand it. But what replaces that? Life abhors vacuums. There's always a cause and effect. If something leaves, something enters. What is that entered this person when they left their own bodies? What was it that was done to them that caused something so enormously frightening that this person ran out of the world? I know what it is because I've witnessed it. You see that face on the screen? Parents make these kind of faces to their young children and scare the bejesus out of them. And do things that are so despicable, so absolutely deplorable, that a sane human being would throw up if there was a videotape of it. And it murders the child. Children who become narcissistic see what's behind the mask. And we never want to discuss that in the world of psychologists. Clinicians don't go deep enough. And just like in religion, there is a plethora of narcissists in the psychology world. They would rather scare you about how powerful they are. Don't you ever to a narcissist, they'll get you. Fuck that. And don't get me wrong, don't play with these people because your life is too precious. Are there killers? Everybody can become a killer. Everybody has power within them to defend their life. We're all survival of the fittest to a certain degree human beings. Narcissists want you weak. Any organization on the face of this earth, I don't care if it's the church, I don't care if it's the world of psychology, I don't care if it's mom, I don't care if it's dad, I don't care if it's black or white. Anything that doesn't want you to unleash your power and to cultivate your highest self should be thrown away. That is not what your creator intended. I'm not saying to be supercilious and to walk around like you're some badass, starting shit, walking around like the world is yours and you just take what you want and this and that. And that's how you roll, that's you. You know, every dog has his day. My point is that you should not be bowing your head and cowering to things in this world, be it a lion, a rhinoceros, a crocodile, a narcissist, a snake, whatever it is. Please hear me. There is too much weakness on the discussions about codependent and empaths in narcissists. A lot of that is coming because narcissists want you to be weak. Anybody on this online or anywhere that is talking to you like a baby and not challenging you to get stronger and motivating you to cultivate your higher self is not your effing friend. I know how hard it is to recover from the soul-crushing events that these people do to us. But I am here to tell you that you have to come out of that narcissistic fog and start to forge yourself to be ready to live in this world. It is your subconscious mind that has been conditioned to be weak and not strong. There is a lion within you, I promise you. These people, if you don't know who they are, they can emasculate alphas. I've seen it done. I've had it done to me. What's behind that mask is so insidious, so evil and ugly, that if you don't see it coming, you will wake up in a freaking nightmare. We have all witnessed coming home to someone that is not who they were when we met them. And this person that we meet, this new entity, is 100% foreign. What kind of a creature lives like that? What is that energy, that darkness behind that mask? I am sitting here telling you it is not something that is greater than you are. It is nastier than you are. It is more vulgar than you are. It enjoys rolling in the mud more than you are. But you can roll in the mud if you have to and whoop its ass. That's the message from God. Use the fork, Luke. Use the force. Now, what I am saying is not to encourage you to go to war with narcissists. You know how many narcissists I wanted to go to war with? But I count the cost. It's like, just know that they're a narcissist. You've already won. That's what I screamed to my run out of oxygen. It is much better to be abused and tricked and fooled by a narcissist than to be one. They lost from the jump. Our job is to remain powerful, to remain positive, beautiful, loving, capable, and strong enough to open a can of kick-ass if need be. You don't just hide and pray that something never touches you and that we're all gonna... No, especially if you're a man. And I don't want to go into the gender war, but if you're a man, you have got to find your kahunas again. Believe me, there was a 2-year period of my life that my ex had emasculated me so bad. And the reason I can say this because I know who I am. But she had emasculated me so bad that you could have put some panties on me. These people can destroy who you are. We all know that. My question is, what is there when we say there's nothing there? There is something there. Although we say they're walking around in an empty meat suit, energy is there. There is energy there that is shaping all of these different characters and personalities that they mutate into. What is that energy? I believe the narcissists underneath all of that see themselves somewhat like this picture, be it male or female. That's the way that they see themselves. And, and people say, well, they're so ashamed of that ugliness and they're so this and that. No, they're not. Let me tell you why. They're not ashamed of it. They rather enjoy it. They think it's powerful. When my narcissist did that face to me and made one of these types of faces, she was saying, look, or the demon inside of her was saying, this is who I am, MF. Look at me. And she thought it was going to scare the bejesus out of me. And you know why I think it didn't startle me to the level where I went insane or I just couldn't function anymore. And it messed me up, don't get me wrong. And I'm not for sure, but I think my mother made one of those demon faces at me when I was a little boy. Somewhere in my life, I saw that face before when she did it. And I not firmly, but I wholeheartedly, to a certain degree, 80% of me really believes that I saw that face from my mother before. And we know the consistency that runs inside of narcissism, how these people are consistently the same. So it's something to think about, you guys, that all of this academia, psychological analysis have a point, but it takes them a long time to catch up with the modern day of where we're at. So during our lifetime, we've got to figure this stuff out so we can go up, over, around, and through these people. All right, you guys? So I appreciate you guys being here and listening to my rant today. I always enjoy our time together. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and give me a thumbs up if you found something of value today. And yeah, what say you? Leave a comment, share your experience. Have you ever seen any shape-shifting done from the narcissists in your life? Have you seen their eyes change? Have you seen the person leave and you're standing there looking at a person that's not there anymore? Please share your experience with these people. All right, you guys, and I'll catch you on the next video. And until then, protect yourself at all times.